Alright, what's up guys? Today we are going to cover how to set up a scanner on the Thinkorswim platform. So the first thing you want to do is come in here, open up your platform, and then hit scan. It's probably not going to look like this when you come in here, so let's see if we can delete some of this stuff. Give me just a second. Study. Okay, I'm not sure how it's going to look when you come in here. It might look like this, it might not. It might show a stock, and a study filter. If it does not, just click on add filter, and you're going to add a stock filter. Now what you want to do in that stock filter is click on this bar right here. It says back volume. You're going to want to scroll down till you find last. What that's going to do is tell you what the last price was at. Next, you want to search for what dollar amount of stocks you want. So in the minimum, I have several different scanners set up. I have them starting at $1. I have some starting at $2, some at $5. It all depends on what your preference is. I normally won't trade anything under $1, so I would just put in $1 here. And for your max, you don't put anything typically if you don't want. I want to narrow mine down. We typically won't trade anything over $50, but that's again preference up to you. And again, you could set up multiple scanners. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this window so we got more room. Okay, so here's where the X's were hiding. Alright, so after that you would want to hit add filter. You want to hit another stock, and then you're going to want to pick volume. So scroll down to your volume. Now that you got your volume in there, we want at least 200,000 people trading this stock, so you have plenty of volatility and momentum. Anything under that, you're really not gonna, I don't want to say you're not gonna, but you don't have a very good chance of getting in and out quickly like you want to. So we like to keep ours with at least 200,000 minimum. So we'll set that there. And then again, we don't put a max on it because the more people the better. And when you're doing a scanner, that's what you want to do for the stock and the stock. I'm going to exit those out because I already have them. Next, you're going to want to come up here and add another filter. You're going to want to add a study filter. In the study filter, you're going to want to click your first drop down and come down here, and you could pick whatever you want. We use unusual volume. It helps you find stocks that have unusual volume. The stocks that are typically running, those are the ones you're looking for. Okay, and we want to know is you want to keep it increased and at least 5% from what it's typically trading at. So you want to find stocks that have moved up at least 5% from the previous day. And then over what period amount? We just use 50 as a rule of thumb. Down here, you're going to want to hit show. You're going to want to hit stocks. It'll give you different options here, whether you want stocks or options or stocks and options. And then sorted by the open. And we always want ascending because we're looking for stocks that are moving up. Again, we're just going to X out of that since we already have the criteria here. Then we're going to hit scan, and it's going to give you a list of things that are out there, a list of stocks. As you can see, SYN is here, CHEK is here. You have all the stocks that were on the pre-market scanner this morning. Here's GAXG. RIG is actually doing really good today. It jumped up quite a bit. So anyhow, the next thing you want to do is you can come here to this little gear icon right there and hit customize. We're going to get rid of a lot of this junk, okay? We want what the open was, what the last, we want the symbol. We don't typically need the description of what the company is. We don't need the net change. If you want, you can have the net change, but we look at the percent change. So we get rid of the net change. We're going to remove that. We want the volume, definitely. We don't want the bid. We don't want the ask. You can have the high or low, but there are other scanners for that. We don't need the high or low. We don't need the EPS. We don't need the market cap. We don't need the volume index. Alright, so now we're going to hit OK. Now you see how that pretty much changed everything, right? So you could shrink all these down and over. We're going to add one more thing here. I guess we get our screen back now. We're going to add one more thing. We're going to add the shares. Remember, that's your float. Thinkorswim doesn't have a float, so we want to add the shares. Okay, so now that we got everything we're looking for, now why do we set it up this way? Because it's very convenient to come in here and look and see what it opened at, what it's trading at now. Okay? And the reason we do that is because we're not going to focus on anything that's trading less than what it is now. We want to find stocks that are trading more than what it is now. So CGIX is trading higher than what it opened at. That would interest us. We would go in and look at it, see what it's doing. CGA, BRY, these are all trading higher than what they opened at. So that's why we have it set up with open and last, so it's very quickly easy to see where the stock opened and where it's at now. Now you can come in here and mess around with these scanners anytime you want. You can change them to just about whatever you want. Remember, the shares are pretty much the float. If you hit any button up here, it'll change the direction of things. So we want the highest volume on top, and we want the highest, well, you can't have both. You got to pick one or the other, either the highest volume or the highest percent change. But we typically like to have the stocks with the highest volume showing up top, because that'll let us know where the people are, where the money is, where liquidity is, where we can get in and out quickly with no problems whatsoever. Okay, once you're done setting up your scan, you just want to come up here to this little icon, hit Save Scan Query, and then name it, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to save it at. And then from here, you could go in and start adjusting these anytime you want. What you do is just come in here and hit Load Scan Query, and you could hit Personal. These are all of our scanners right here. You can go through and look at them, but they're pretty powerful scanners. Thinkorswim does have public scanners, which is pretty cool. They have percent change gainers. They have gap down, gap up. Gap down is great for shorting. Market maker move stocks. They got new yearly highs, new yearly lows, upcoming dividends, upcoming earnings, upcoming splits. So they have some pretty powerful scan queries in here that are free to use. You can get alerts here on your mobile phone when you want. I actually turned alerts off because it was so annoying. Your phone dings literally every 2 minutes, so I don't use them any longer. So that's basically how you set up any kind of scan that you want, what you're looking for. You just want to mess with the numbers, the prices, things like that. And you know, as you learn and as you mess with it, you could start building some pretty cool scanners for yourself. They also have Spread Hacker up here, Option Hacker. They have all kind of different things. And let's see what they don't have anything set up for it. You got to build it. But they do have them in the in their public and the top 10, things like that. All right, so one other must-have tool on this platform. This is a bonus. I throw a bonus into every video I do. Is you come up here to chat rooms, okay? And they have Bazinga Squawk. This is what I listen to when I'm sitting here all morning. You turn on listen, and this guy will start reading out the news as it comes out. And this is how you can catch some great runners in the morning.
Neurometrics hit a high of 360. November Uniform Romeo Oscar.
You hear how he just said that? You got to be quick. You got to get in on those stocks immediately, because the second that he calls it, they can pop between $1 and $3 within 10-15 seconds. We make a lot of money that way using it. That is actually a feature from Bazinga Pro that is free on the Thinkorswim platform, and it is the best tool any trader could ever have. That would be the only reason to buy Bazinga Pro, if you wanted to buy something, would be for that squawk. It is 100%. The Bazinga News, the Thinkorswim platform gets the news just as fast. Again, we don't really pay attention to the news because we're paying attention to the money and the people. Because wherever those two things are at, doesn't matter what the news is doing. That's where your best chance of making money is going to be. But yes, when this guy talks and squawks, you're going to make money. So you have to have him on at 7 a.m. when you start coming onto the platform. Again, you come up here to chat room, click on Bazinga Squawk, and then hit listen. And then he'll start talking throughout the morning. And he'll feed you all kind of good information. It's kind of like having the news read to you rather than having the Thinkorswim news. You know, you're trying to read through that and trade. It's just crazy. It's really cool to have this guy speaking it out. You could type in the symbols as he's speaking, be the first one in. That's how you get in on the first or second bar.
Kings at the highs, 47.19. Delta Kilo November Golf.
Let's go to DraftKings. See what he's talking about here. Alright, see, he's saying DraftKings is at the high. I don't see a new high here, but maybe he's talking about the high a day, because it's not showing it made a new high. Oh no, DraftKings, the high was at 64.19. He's talking about a high a day. But again, when he speaks, stocks usually jump. As you can see, DraftKings just crossed the 20 there. We're looking at the 1 day, 1 minute. So he spoke and it spiked up. Now, again, you know, you're using that in conjunction with everything else you know. But typically in the pre-market, when that guy speaks, stocks move, and they move quickly. So you have to get in the second he tells you a ticker symbol or a news or a merger or something like that, and you'll be able to profit handsomely.
I report that the Grammy Awards ceremony has been postponed due to coronavirus surge in Los Angeles.
And then he talks a lot of garbage too, like that, but not much. 9 times out of 10, whatever he says will pop as he's saying it, and he'll also tell you when things are popping throughout the day. But again, you got to be careful. You got to watch what you're doing. But typically between 7 and 10 a.m. when he speaks, he's speaking of brand new news and brand new situations that are going on there that are going to cause the stock to double or triple in a matter of seconds. So the second you hear him call out a ticker in the morning pre-market, that's when you pounce on it. Because 9 times out of 10, it'll go up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars in a row before it starts coming down. Alright guys, so I hope this video helped you. And again, these are watch lists that I have over here. The way that I have mine set up, and I'll show you, which is tremendously, and this is how I personally find runners throughout the day, is when I go to my scan query, you can see here, I have them set up from, I want to find stocks when they first start running. So I have 2%. Then 3%, then 4%, then 5%, 7%, 10, 20, 30. So at the opening bell, a lot of stocks fall in the 2, 3, 4, and 5% range. So I'll have one watch list set up here at 5%, another one at 7, and then another one at 10. Typically when I'm going to be here all day. Because as they pass each percentage...
EOLS, Everlist, seeing some volume coming in. Echo Oscar Lima Sandy. EOLS.
So as the volume and the people and the price are going up, I'm going to catch it on each stage. Because as it goes from 2%, it'll move to the 3%, then the 4%. And that's when I can give you guys alerts as I see them start moving. And then I pull it up on the charts and see what it's doing. So it catches all these that go 2%.
Now getting a pop here again. Seeing some volume, heavy volume now in Echo Oscar Lima Sandy. And shares popping to the high, $3.43.
Alright, here it is. Just made a new high. This is what he just called. Echo Oscar Lima Sandy. But it's been the up and up all day. this would have been a good pick today. So yeah, hopefully this guys helps you guys a little bit with the charts and setting up scanners. Again, once you come here and you have a watch list up, it's all right here. If you just left click on it, you can go into public. They got the percent changers, and then and the love of the losers, they do have pre-market movers and post-market movers, which are pretty cool. The post-market seem to lag for some reason, but you know, after about 20 minutes they are pretty good, but you've kind of missed some of those. And I'll be throwing you guys all of our scanners at some point. If you want them, just let me know. Leave a comment in the description. We could add whatever you want. Alright guys, we're going to wrap it up. Hopefully this helped. Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Like a Hellcat.